The presenting sponsor of Upmarket is Fotello, the best AI editing platform. Snap, upload, and deliver at fotello.co. Coming to you from the Upmarket studio in beautiful San Buenaventura, California. This is Upmarket, a podcast about the business of real estate photography and media. My name is Reed Fish. I'm the CEO and a co-founder of Upmarket Media. Mark Corcoran, this is getting to be a habit.
Yeah, we're on a roll now, man.
Yeah, we are on a roll. Well, look, we get the Upmarket studio in progress. You built a studio flat over the weekend. You did all that. You can kind of see it in the background here. I think hopefully next episode is going to look even more different. I mean, this is great. You're going to watch this on YouTube, where you should be watching and subscribing. And you're just going to see this, our new studio just transform each week before your eyes. We already
picked out our paint color. We got our set flats. We're putting in some sound.
Our paint colors.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's going to be fun to see it kind of
some new cameras
evolve.
coming. And ooh, yeah, it's going to be so good. And Molly Peart is here also producing.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Molly.
Hi.
What do you think? Are you stoked on the studio? You like the color?
Oh, I'm super excited.
Okay.
The transformation is beginning.
I love what are our paint colors? Blackberry cobbler. That's going to be sexy.
Yeah.
Sexy, sounds sweet.
Yeah. Well, sexy, sweet, delicious. I'm going to lick the wall.
All the adjectives.
Yeah, I love those adjectives. So now we do a weekly show. We got to have stuff to talk about. So
that's always good.
So we did think of a good topic for this one. Because it's been a lot of chatter, and I was actually thinking, we alluded to this on the show, but I don't think we've really gotten into it. These silly 3D wars that are happening. I know I talked about it with Vince Kalura when he was on.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. He kind of came from the whole Matterport world, right? That was his thing, or VH Studios.
Yeah, VHT, and then I got by CoStar. And
so he has an interesting kind of angle on it, being inside it and now out of it again.
Yeah, so you can go back and listen to that episode for all his insights. But I think just to recap what's going on, if you don't know, the story goes back decades. So Matterport, of course, has been kind of in the States anyway. And I know it's shout out iGuide. iGuide is way the market leader in Canada and has made a lot of inroads in the States. But I think for us, Matterport was always synonymous with 3D tours. Yeah. That's what it was. That was kind of like the Kleenex of 3D tours, the brand name. Yeah,
it was the recognition. And back before we even merged, you were offering that. And that's kind of how we first started working together. It's
that's right.
I need someone to do Matterport. You're like, I'm your guy. And started subcontracting with you to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is something that, I bought it in that first wave, so whatever. I've had a Matterport camera for 10 years now. Whatever it's been, and have had good, decent success with it. Obviously, in 2020, it was bananas. We sold so much, I don't know, we did hundreds of Matterport.
The 3D tours became the open house, right? The virtual open house that everyone needed because they couldn't have people in the property, so that kind of just blew up.
Yeah, and so our clients have always, kind of known the Matterport brand and the dollhouse and everything. And so they've been the market leader and kind of, again, what I've thought of as 3D up until there's more options. And of course, we've had this relationship with iGuide and see what a great product that is. Matterport has had a tricky relationship with real estate photographers all along. I think they've always been not the greatest company to work with. It feels like they want us to sell their products, but then they don't really do stuff on the back end to help us.
Yeah, it's always been a bit clunky, right? If you have a client that does one a week, then every time you have to go in and enter their information. There's no contact list. There's no.
Can't. It's just and I think just the way they've priced it and just they really, I think. It's been one of those companies that has always felt like they have taken the real estate photographer for granted. And I think there's a lot of animosity from the real estate photography community towards Matterport. And, their prices are high. We've paid a lot of money to them over the years.
You get locked into that subscription model, right? So even if you want to move away from it, then all of the tours you've ever done, if they want to be live still, you got to keep on paying that bill.
Yeah, exactly. And so, we've used them, and I think the popularity over the last few years has been, steady. It's been fine. It's something we have a few clients who do it on every shoot, and they're kind of bigger clients. So, it's great. It's been fine, but I haven't even thought about it that much, to be perfectly honest.
And there's certain brokerages, it's just kind of part of their bread and butter package, right? So it's just automatic.
Yeah.
Whether the agent even uses it or it makes a difference on the back end, it's just what they do standard.
But I feel like we do them on, it's hard to find the exact, hard to delineate the exact number, but I want to say 15% of shoots, something like that, 20% maybe.
Less than we're doing video for sure.
Oh yeah, way less. So there is this kind of changing, not behavior, but like our relationship with Matterport has been different just because of how the market has changed. And then, Matterport gets bought by, actually there's all this other stuff before that, but Matterport eventually gets bought by CoStar, which of course owns homes.com.
Right. So now it's not an independent company that we can utilize, right? It's part of this big
conglomerate.
Well,
and that was it, because Matterport had bought VHT, and then all of a sudden they were using the VHT photographers and trying to offer Matterport at a low cost. And, and that really pissed off a lot of people in our community as well. So, but then they all get bought by CoStar, which of course CoStar owns homes.com, and they're making a big play basically to be the big Zillow competitor. Yeah. They're trying to destroy Zillow.
Right. There's people that have been kind of nipping at the heels, but now this seems like a real, serious competitor.
And so then a few months ago, now it's been a couple months, Matterport changed their terms of service. And Zillow, in my opinion, Zillow saw that, and who of course, full disclosure, owns Aereo, which is one of our sponsors. But, I'm going to go ahead and, I don't always have to be kind to Zillow just because they give us money. But Zillow saw that, the change of the terms of service, as an opening to try to increase their market, or try to decrease Matterport's market share and pump up their own crummy 3D product, Zillow 3D.
Right. Because why would they want to, basically put their competitors' 3D tours on their site, whether their terms of service really meant that or not? Yeah. And then was the back and forth of the press releases, right? Oh, well, we don't actually mean that. Oh, we do. And it was just like this whole
it was
stupid
childish
thing.
Yeah. So, but basically what had happened is that Matterport changed their terms of service, and Zillow chose to interpret that as meaning, well, we can't show these tours on Zillow anymore. It's against Matterport's terms of service. So, sorry, our hands are tied by the evil Matterport, or the CoStar lawyers.
Yeah. Then CoStar comes like, no, that's not what we meant, but it was already nothing's changed. They've just pulled the tours.
So therefore, if Matterport cannot be shown on Zillow, Zillow also owns Aereo. So if you are an Aereo customer and you want to do a Matterport tour, and one of the deliverables you have to your clients is that property website, where we've talked about it all the time for years on this show, of you get the free property website and you give it to your client.
All your media is there, right?
The media there. Well, guess what? Matterport cannot be there anymore. And that sucks. And I think we have, we've had pushback from a few of our clients because not everyone uses the property websites. They're great, but not everybody uses them. And in fact, most people I think don't use them. But the ones who do, where'd my Matterport go? I just paid $250
for that. Now it says 3D coming soon. And it's like, well, here's the link for it, but we can't really display it. So they're like, wait, what?
So, and I think that is seen as a way to try to get people to do Zillow 3D, which...
Zillow 3D. I mean, we love the quality of an iGuide or a Matterport, right? And when you look at that compared to the Zillow 3D, it's just really a far inferior product. Yeah. The whole user experience is just not really there.
And I think from what I've heard, no agents like Zillow 3D either. Everyone is just doing them in order to fulfill the obligations you have if you're doing a showcase listing on Zillow, which gets your listing higher in the Zillow rankings. So basically, Zillow's forcing you to do a Zillow 3D if you want your listing to stand out on Zillow. But the way I gotta, I don't know if I'm giving them credit, but I think it's been a net positive for us, because Zillow is not having they're not pushing their 3D text to come out and do all the
well, I feel like initially
of that product. I think initially
that was
it was
the play, right?
Yeah.
And then they're realizing, wait a second, people are kind of loyal to their photographers. We can't force a photographer on these people to use our service. So it's like, well, let's open it up if you become kind of, part of the Zillow family and offer the 3D.
Exactly. So we decided to, as much as I railed against it kind of somewhat famously on this show a couple years ago, we did become a Zillow 3D tour provider, and it's been good. I mean, we don't charge that much for it. It's like $150. So, but as a little add-on, and I think we've done literally hundreds of them.
The one thing I do like is the speed of capture is super quick. It's like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah. And then we're honest with our clients. We say, you have to do this. Honestly, it's not great. We also, if you do want a 3D we recommend doing iGuide or Matterport.
Yeah,
in addition to the Zillow 3D, because the Zillow 3D functions as literally just to rank it higher on Zillow.
Yeah, and to get the big pretty photos, and it's like their whole pitch to agents is, we'll rank you higher, but it's also we'll put your branding on it, because a traditional Zillow listing, a home buyer goes on there, looks at the property, I like that, and then they click contact, and it can contact another agent who's paying Zillow just for placement. It's not actually targeting the listing agent.
Right. I believe the listing agent is listed, but it's not highlighted.
Yeah, but now Zillow Showcase, boom, you're up there, you're prominent, you're the main point of contact.
Right. And so, the Zillow 3D is just part of that suite of services. And I think that's just the way it's going. And so we ultimately don't control Zillow. These are multi-billion dollar companies at war. And it's like, well, we're just the people in the collateral damage.
We're the service provider trying to figure out, do we need to offer all of these? If you just offer one, you're going to lose this client base. So you're kind of trying to cover all your bases, right?
We do offer all of them. And so here's the thing. And so, shout out iGuide. And this whole, episode is not just an ad for iGuide, but iGuide did not change their terms of service. And so they're kind of agnostic, and you can put an iGuide anywhere.
They kind of feel like Switzerland in this, right? They're like these battles going on, and they're like, well, we're just here providing a good product.
For now, the Zillow has not banned other 3D tour providers. So I think, iGuide can be in there, like Giraffe 360 or Cubicasa or, and whoever's doing the 3D tours now can be in there. And that may change. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know, I've had conversations with Matt Milkowski, the head of Aereo, and he's kind of privately said that, he's not going to comment on that stuff. I mean, it's all the lawyers. He has no say in it. But I mean, I think the idea at Aereo is they want to keep their platform, kind of open to anybody. And so I think, he did not say it, but I'm sure the people at Aereo are not happy that Matterport can't be shown on there. Yeah. Because it's like, hey, let's push the Zillow 3D. It's great. And I think if you ever want to upload a Zillow 3D to, if you do want to do a showcase, you have to use Aereo. So that's kind of baked in too, is that a lot of people who maybe use HD Photo Hub or Spiro or whatever, in our industry also have to have like an Aereo Lite account.
Yeah, just to get access to the upload system and the whole thing. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just how it is. And I think that's what the higher ups at Zillow have decided, and that's what's going to happen. And there's nothing we can really do to change it. So we just have to figure out what is the most effective way for us to navigate the landscape as it is.
Yeah, and it was interesting. We just went to an event with a bunch of realtors, and one of the big wigs at that office, who was not actually a client of ours, we just started chatting with him because we were there. Yeah. We had our iGuide camera there showing him we were doing the giveaway, and he walks up, I know you're an iGuide customer. He's like, oh, well, I used to be, but now I'm tied in with homes.com, and they're giving me the exclusive thing. I'm saving so much money. I'm saving $7,000 on doing these 3D tours because they just send out one of their in-house people and they do it for me.
Yeah.
And we're like, whoa.
What is this? And so we and then we had another agent talk about that after we're like, what is this? And we need to kind of figure that out. Which was hard. Like that one big client, that one big realtor is a friend of ours who's, I guess, technically a competitor, but he's just kind of a one-man shop and nice guy, and has some market share. All of a sudden, the realtor's crowing about, I'm saving $7,000 because I get my Matterports for free now. And we're like, that's $7,000 that our buddy doesn't get.
Yeah.
And,
that's... And he's not really saving it because he's spending it for this placement on homes.com. He's just re-diverting the funds. And it's just like, another photographer just got squeezed.
Right. So in a similar manner to what Zillow is doing now, if you are like... if you're paying for better placement or whatever, the suite of marketing services that homes.com offers, and you're an agent, one of the things you get for all of your listings is a free Matterport scan. And this was actually news to us.
Just found out 2 days ago.
Yeah, so I was like, okay. And maybe that's been going on for a while. I don't actually know. And the difference is it's free to the agent, where on Zillow, they say, well, you need to do a Zillow 3D, but here's the list of providers and you have to go pay for that. So exactly. That's been a benefit to us. So this one, not so much of a benefit to us if they're offering free Matterports.
Seems like they're not doing the free photography. So they're still hiring a media company for that part. But if that client was like this guy was consistently doing a 3D, then boom, you just lost that whole thing.
Yeah. So exactly. So that agent still uses our friend for photos and aerials and video or whatever, I guess. But then just does a separate appointment with the Matterport tech comes out. And so he's like, yeah, saving $7,000 a year. And so I was like, oh, okay. Well, I think there's a scenario where, I think there's a plus and a negative to this. The negative is, of course, if we have agents who are those members of homes.com, we're not going to be doing any Matterport for them anymore.
No, that's gone.
But it increases the usage of 3D tours potentially, which I think is ultimately a good thing. Because I think if it is brand agnostic, if there's a 3D tour on every single listing, that's good for all of us.
Yeah, it's kind of like the floor plan. It just becomes standard, right?
Ultimately. But, if they're all being done by these low-paid Matterport techs from homes.com, well, that's not necessarily great for us. But I think the more ubiquitous 3D tours become, I think it is ultimately better for us.
Yeah, whether it's a Zillow 3D or that or the iGuide, right? It's like,
and so even if you get a free Matterport, you are still faced with the issue as an agent that you had whether you pay for Matterport with us. You can't show it on Zillow. And as much as homes.com is putting ads on football games and, marketing the shit out of homes.com, it's still not where Zillow is.
No. I mean, I looked up the stats, right? The website viewing stats. And it's nice,
Mark.
Zillow, their monthly unique viewers is over 200 million, like 215 million viewers per month. Homes.com, the information's different, but on their website, they say it's around 100, 110.
Right.
So it's
which
big,
is
but
huge,
it's like, they're like half of what Zillow has.
Yeah.
And it's just, Zillow is just like dominant, like any search engine. You type in any address in any city, before Google Maps even comes up, like Zillow will come up. And homes.com is, you got to dig for it to find it. So they dominate the search game for sure.
And whatever homes.com is doing is working, right? I mean, that market share was not there 2 years ago.
No, it's the battle of the eyeballs, right? And it's just like, what can we do to get more eyeballs and then sell more?
And obviously, they're going to be the Coke and Pepsi, at this point, or McDonald's or Burger King. But that's, again, I think it's up to us just to figure out how to navigate that and use that to our advantage rather than, lose a bunch of business over it.
And I get why they're, because Homes.com, Zillow, their basic information comes from the MLS. They scrape the same information, same photos, same description. All they can do is really have a different design or different user interface, but basically their data is the same that they're working with.
Yeah.
So that's why they're kind of pushing these proprietary products, because it's like, that's how they can differentiate themselves, right? So they have to have their own 3D version of whatever they're doing, the Zillow or the Matterport.
Well, and it was interesting, a couple days ago, and I actually was out there doing it too. I had pulled out of retirement because we're a little short-staffed right now. Pulled out of retirement yet again.
On a big 5,000 square foot.
On a big 5,000 square foot McMansion. And Mark and I were there doing it, and the agent shows up at one point, and it's not seemingly, friendly guy. We hadn't even ever met him before, but we were talking about, and he does the whole package, and that's what he only does a couple listings a year, but he always does the whole package. And we're like, love it. And we had decided on this that because we've been having to have that difficult conversation with agents of like, well, as part of our media package, you do get a Matterport, but just so you know, here's what's going on with that. And so we were able to have that conversation with him in person, which I think is much better than over the phone or email.
Yeah, we've had a few over email, and they're like, "Wait, what?" And
we said, "Well, we are prepping this for you because I know you're used to Matterport, you love Matterport, but we're doing we're going to do an iGuide tour on this for you for free." So you can see the difference and we think iGuide is actually a much better product. Matterport has the brand name, but I think you'll find that iGuide, it's more accurate. It's, the same functionality. I mean, it's fantastic product.
It's just compatible with everything, right? It's
And he's like, oh, that's great. Okay. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And then he's thinking about it for a minute. He's like, wait a sec. Okay. But when I upload to the MLS, I don't know if there's one or two slots, but there's a slot you put in the 3D tour. Which one should I put in? And we said, well, iGuide.
Yeah.
Because Zillow scrapes the MLS to get the data for what they put on Zillow. So if you put the iGuide on there, it's going to show up on Zillow. If you put the Matterport on there, it's not going to show up.
They're cutting that link. Yeah.
So that for us, as we've been rolling out iGuide over these last few months, is really, Matterport gave us a gift of how do you differentiate these services. And I think, every 3D tour company is going to promote how accurate it is, how fast it does it, how all this stuff, which, has merit. But I think ultimately, I don't think the agents care about that stuff as much, but what they care about is making sure eyeballs can get on these 3D tours.
Yes.
So for us, that's like the easy sell on iGuide at this point is like, well, you can show it anywhere.
Yeah.
And so, because Zillow 3D is not going to show up on homes.com, which I don't think we,
exactly. So that's just locked in on their platform. But iGuide's everywhere, and they're rolling out new features. They got their site plan coming out, which is another differentiator. So the conversation's being easier now.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, it's super easy, and I think that's the conversation. Whatever 3D tour you're offering, that should be part of the conversation of where these things can be shown, because you want to make sure that you don't get calls from agents, which we've had over the last few months, of where they're upset or they're like, why isn't this showing up? And you're like, well, it's out of our hands.
Are you posting? You're like,
it's out of our hands. So, thank you, CoStar, for handing us this little gift. I mean, you're snatching Matterport away, but you also gave us an advantage on how we move on from that. So,
it gives us an opening, right? So that just helps.
So maybe someday soon we can not even have a Matterport account.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of nice. That
would be nice. Yeah. We like the pay-as-you-go kind of model better than the subscription.
Yeah.
Never ending.
And stay tuned, because we will have a full ad for iGuide where we talk about all the benefits of iGuide. So, wow. I think we did the whole half of the show on just that story. So I think we do want to talk more. We have more stuff to talk about on 3D after the break. But let's do a social media sidebar. We'll get Molly to pipe in.
Oh, yeah.
She's like a social media expert.
Hi.
She's a social media manager.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Upmarket Pod. We've been rolling.
We're not doing the social media sidebar yet.
Oh, geez, sorry.
I was promoting the break. Now the music's going to come up.
We're cueing you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
block that out, Bethany. Don't talk about that.
No, leave that in. This is great. So you come here to hear more from Molly in just a minute. Molly, I know you were raving for months about Photon 5.0, but oh boy, Photon 6.0 is here, and it is fantastic. And so about Photon. It's the newest version of Fotello.
Whoa.
Whoa. Well, so Fotello, AI editing, it's fantastic. We're using it. It has grown. What we have seen over the last 6 months and how far Fotello has come, it started great, and now it's unbelievably great. And so the new Photon 6.0, our photos are being done in minutes. They're perfect almost every single time. And even when they're not, they have human editors that will revise them, and they'll revise them within, I think, 6 hours now.
6 hours.
And the revision rate is so low, like you're almost never going to be using that aspect of it at all, because they're coming out, we can effectively send them to our clients, do one little quality control pass, and we're good to go. It is spectacular. The speed of service is so great. We are now offering same-day delivery on photos for people, and that's we're upcharging like $100 for that. So, and it's just like, it's not free money, but it's pretty good stuff. Fotello has so many different features. You can add in fires, you can add in pins to on your aerial shots. It's doing twilights now, and also you can book, you can edit, you can deliver right through Fotello. It's a full service program, and the editing is just phenomenal. So if you want to check out Fotello, I highly recommend it. You can use the link in our bio to go to fotello.co. Use the link in our bio, and it's going to automatically get you 25 free bonus listings. If you don't use the link in our bio, use the code Upmarket, all lowercase, and you are going to get 25 bonus listings when you sign up at Fotello. They have a pay-as-you-go. You can have a subscription. There's a lot of different ways to go do it, and it is super economical, and it's, you're going to up your game. Go to fotello.co. So look, let's be honest. This whole episode is about 3D tours, and we got one sponsor that's a 3D tour company. I feel like it's a little bit of a conflict of interest, except that it's not, because we know that iGuide is actually the best of the bunch out there.
Yeah.
I'm saying that not because they're our sponsor, but because we know that they are. Look, you've worked with the iGuide crew a bit. They're amazing people.
They're great.
Customer service is unparalleled. And not only that, but their offerings are unparalleled. They are so accurate, so easy to use. I mean, it takes like 15, 20 minutes to scan a house. We just did one the other day. We did this 5,000 square foot house and it only took us 35 minutes or something. It's phenomenal. The speed of scanning is so great. The quality is tremendous. It's so accurate. It's great because it's not a subscription program. It's a pay as you go. And now I'm teasing it. Site plans are coming. So site plans, this is another upsell that we can sell our clients on. More money. That's what I like. More money. More money coming to Upmarket.
More money.
Well, that means, and you like more money coming to Upmarket because that means I'll have money to pay you.
Thanks, Reed.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Molly likes to get paid. So,
yes, I do.
Yes, you do. I implore you to check out goiguide.com, and you can check out all iGuide has to offer. We've been doing iGuides. Our clients are loving them. And again, of course, as we've mentioned in this show, but let's just mention it in the ad, that they are platform agnostic. You can put these things on anywhere. You can put them on Zillow. They're going to syndicate to homes.com. They're going to be everywhere your clients want them to show up. They are going to show up there. So shout out, love you, iGuide.
We love you,
goiguide.com. Okay, Molly wanted to jump the gun before, but this is the real social media sidebar. So we are, of course, Upmarket Pod across. Now, Molly, we are, what are we on now? Because now that you're in charge, what are we on?
We are on TikTok, YouTube, obviously, but we're now doing more shorts, obviously. Instagram. And Facebook.
Are we on Facebook?
Yes, I want to say.
I think it.
Because it loops in with yours, so I'm sometimes.
I don't know. It loops in. Whatever. The Upmarket Pod, I believe there is I don't know.
Most popular.
We'll make sure that whatever we post on Instagram gets reposted on Facebook
exactly.
as well. So, apparently, so we're Upmarket Pod across all those.
All those platforms.
All those platforms, and apparently, I've not seen this with my own eyes, but we're blowing up on TikTok.
We're doing pretty well. I wouldn't necessarily say blowing up, but I think our name is starting to get out there just by creating our account.
Yes. Wow. That's by the way, the first step.
Yeah.
That was the funny part, right? We're like, let's create an account. And Molly's like, we already have an account. Who started this? We're like, I don't know. And then Reed's phone pinged. Oh, it was me. Yeah.
It took a second to finally figure out who has the control of the TikTok account.
It was me. Yeah. I was like, I've never been on TikTok. Oh, I guess I did 2 years ago.
But I've studied behind what happens with TikTok and how when you first create an account or either start posting your first post, that's when things start getting a little popular. But it's all about consistency with TikTok. And, your aim is usually to do at least 2 posts a day with TikTok.
What?
That's
TikTok's hungry.
That's the algorithm I've figured out. Just personally, I know I'm Gen Z, so TikTok's huge for me. Yeah. But I've been studying the algorithm with it. Not necessarily that to go big on TikTok would be obviously great, but I saw what I thought was going to be more trending with just our reels of, you guys talking. The quote posts that we've been doing on Instagram as well as TikTok have been more popular. Right.
So the quote post, just to visual, we can show one on the screen here on the YouTube, but it's like a three pictures of me and Mark, like wide horizontal shots, and then it just has. And it's just like reacting or whatever, and then it just has the quotes of what we're talking about, right? So, I think it's a pretty popular format for podcasts. So it's just like a pithy, funny or interesting quote, and that's been getting traction. That's why people do those, apparently.
Yeah, I thought it surprised me for sure, and I think it's more too. I put a fun song behind it. Usually it has to be instrumental because people are reading, so they don't want to hear just a bunch of lyrics shouting at them while they're trying to read.
Right.
And it kind of stops the scroll because you have to stay there for at least, 5-10 seconds to read through it.
Right. And sometimes with the reels, you have to have a really strong zinger to keep someone, locked in. When you're reading a post, and I put it in the way that, most professional podcasts put the photos of, them talking. I try to do a fun,
of course.
image, not just you guys looking blank face. I try to have an emotion. Usually Reed it's very easy to find one of Reed.
You're kidding.
I just did one.
Exactly. So it's been fun. I love curating, a new account like this. So it's going to be fun.
Well, yeah. And so I think that's another helpful hint is even when you're posting pictures, have music in the post, choose from the music Instagram or TikTok is allowing you to use because posts without music at this point don't do as well.
No, I rarely stop on something that has no music.
Well, the thing with TikTok too, as we're looking at it, it's like the volume's automatically on. Instagram, I feel like the volume's off and you select it on, but with TikTok, it's on and you're like, gee, that like jerks you back,
I go to TikTok the other day and it was like, oh, I'm a boomer now.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, turn off this sound. This is I had to like turn my phone all the way down to silent. Oh, it was horrible.
They've made it that way.
What a terrible experience.
On purpose.
It's the Zillow 3D of social media.
Yeah, I would say so.
Necessary, but God damn it.
Well, that would make it that would make a good quote post next time.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, good. So social media, that's wonderful hints. Follow us all, Upmarket Pod, and you can follow upmarket.media on Instagram as well. Apparently, we have a TikTok on that too. But
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah,
it's our professional TikTok.
It's our professional TikTok. Yeah,
look out.
All right. So follow us all there. Thank you. What in the world would we do without Aereo? What would the world even look like without Aereo? I don't want to think about it. I just don't even want to think about what that hellscape would look like. Because I know Aereo for us makes our lives easier every single day. We book, we deliver, we invoice our clients through there, and it connects right to our QuickBooks. It's called an integration. We love integrations.
We love it.
Our VA uploads photos directly to Aereo for us. That's fantastic.
Yep.
You can add photos directly from Dropbox. I mean, that's great. How many great things are there about Aereo? I mean,
we just can't stop talking about it.
No, I know we cannot. For years and years and years, we've been talking about Aereo. If you haven't tried it by now, what are you
doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? In fact, what are you doing? Can you write in and tell me what you're doing while you're doing it? You're probably driving. You're probably shooting a house.
Send us a photo of what you're doing right now.
Yeah, send it. Actually, yes. And then, you might be sitting at your computer putting off, I don't know, emailing clients or something. I don't know what you're doing. When you're doing that, when you're watching or listening to this. But stop what you're doing right now. Go to Aereo, check it out, aryeo.com. Check it out. And look, if you use the code Upmarket, you're going to get 15 free bonus listings. That's been true from day one of this podcast, and it's true today. Use the code Upmarket, you're going to get 15 free bonus listings, aereo.com. There's one place that I want to, Molly, get a floor plan of. And this place, it's got 4 rooms and they're all kind of slightly different shapes. But I want to see what it looks like because I'm hoping that it can help me get to the bottom of some things that have been gnawing at me. So I want to get a floor plan of my heart. And because it's been broken and but it's been recovering. And so I think if I had a floor plan of the layout of my heart, maybe I could make some actual changes in my life that could bring me some happiness. And
that's so deep, Reed.
If I was going to do a floor plan of my heart, because I've already done one of my colon, I would use Second Floor app. It is because Second Floor app is one of the best ways that you can make a floor plan. It's so quick, it's so easy. You just walk around the house. It takes like 5 minutes, and boom, you have an instant floor plan. So in my heart, I mean, look, I'm a big-hearted man, obviously, but it's actually small, and so you can barely get your little iPhone in there. But if you could, that LiDAR would absolutely give you an accurate representation of the layout of my heart. And so if you want to be able to scan any type of items you or spaces that you can, go to secondfloorapp.com/upmarket. You're going to get a free month of service. How many hearts can you scan in 1 month? Probably none, because I think it's actually be really hard to scan a heart. But you can scan a bunch of houses, a bunch of commercial buildings, whatever you want, whatever your heart's content is, you can scan it. secondfloorapp.com/upmarket. Okay, let's talk some more 3D. So Mark left.
Yeah, he'd left.
He's so much good stuff in the social media sidebar. He's like, guys, I cannot finish this show. I got to go.
I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, actually, there were several real estate emergencies that popped up.
Yes.
Even though there's no such thing as a real estate emergency, so they do occasionally pop up. And so Mark had to go deal with that. So Molly, I'm glad you're producing. You can also pinch hits for the second half of the
analogy.
show here. I know. Well, let's elaborate on Molly for just a moment here, shall we?
Goodness gracious.
Because you actually come out of your production experience is more in like sports broadcasting.
Right. So yes, I went to the University of Alabama, and
I still can't figure out why, but that's okay.
I have family there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, we love Alabama.
It's a little cheaper.
Yeah, it's a little cheaper.
Rural Tide.
Yeah, we love you, Adam Housley.
Yeah. The sports program there was amazing. One, on top of that, I also graduated high school in the year 2020. So no colleges were open.
Right.
In
Except
California.
For the deep south.
Except for the deep south. Yeah. So I went there, and it was like a COVID year, freshman year. Sure. But the experience I got, because like Reed said, I was in the sports industry, was amazing. I mean, the football program won the national championship my freshman year, but the production side of things, working at a news station, was amazing. I mean, I put it to use every day, I feel like.
And it prepped you for producing Upmarket Pod.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It did. I felt like I was like the DJ of a news station, as I used to refer to my job title.
Yeah, and you kind of run and gun. You kind of got to do stuff, like you got to take what comes. Yeah,
it's a very stressful job.
Yeah, I feel like with what we have planned, which we haven't announced yet, but man, we've been planning our little booties off. Like, yeah, you're going to need some of these skills, I think. Yeah.
But I'm not afraid of the camera. I mean, I was an on-air personality. An on-air personality.
Oh yeah.
So
nice. I want to see some of those tapes. By the way, yeah. Maybe we'll do
YouTube.
So we'll put them. Oh, they're on YouTube. We'll link to them on the Upmarket Pod Instagram, I'm sure. Okay, but and you obviously are aficionado of 3D technology.
Yeah,
of course.
Totally.
Yeah, of course. Well, but I mean, you've been around enough. You know, in our business to kind of see some of this stuff. And, you were there when we recorded with Vince Coulura at PMRE. And, his point was that, which we kind of alluded to earlier, is that 3D utilization is actually down industry-wide, and, obviously from its highs in the COVID era. But, and we were kind of thinking that, one of the reasons for that is like there's no emotional connection to 3D.
Yeah. I mean, I think people are craving that personal connection again, obviously. That it was high during COVID for obvious reasons.
Yeah. But, it goes to, what we all crave on social media is actually you want to connect with people. You want to see people,
Exactly.
And so just these kind of, the 3D tours are effectively, data driven, or it's just showing what that space is, and that's very useful information, but usually you don't have that emotional resonance to it. Right. And so the challenge then is, and that's what we do. We sell way more video than we sell 3D, because video, even these kind of impersonal cookie cutter drone video and gimbal stuff that is the majority of the listing videos we produce, has an emotional connection. Especially to like the home sellers and the buyers can, you put the music on there and everyone, you just get.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, you don't cry. That's right. You were telling me, but you haven't cried during any property videos yet. Not yet,
unfortunately. Well, I did get a little sappy. I did a key delivery video. And it was for this first time family. Yeah. And they had like a little 2-year-old boy, and that was super cute.
But that's not a property video.
No, I'm just saying that was one example of when I did kind of get a little teary-eyed.
Wow. Barely. Barely. The typical rock Molly actually got a little emotional, so that's I'm excited to see that at some point. Yeah. The challenge then becomes is how are we marketing these 3D tours? Whatever service you're doing, and I think there's these obvious things where Homes.com is going to market Matterport because it's free to the agent, and buyers expect it, and Zillow is like, we can sell it because it ranks higher in Zillow. And, iGuide, we can sell it because, it's visible everywhere. But, what's the connection? how is it helping the agents marketing? So I think that's the thing you have to kind of drill down in on.
Right.
And again, as we're kind of transitioning to really pushing our customers towards iGuide, for us, I think what we have ascertained is that the big thing is this: you can show it anywhere, and so it's platform agnostic, and so it's more the agent can utilize it on many different platforms.
Right. And I think, from a social media perspective, I think you could still market these 3D tours in a way that makes it personal. I mean, just from, you did like the iGuide little snippet last night.
Right.
And you're like, oh my, it took me 20 minutes and.
Well, right. But that's, but that's not necessarily marketing though to agents though, so we need to be able to market.
How to market in a way that would.
Yeah. And so how do we as real estate media people sell it to our clients? I mean, that's the ballgame.
That's the big question.
Yeah, that is the big question. And I think you can come at it from, it's just, usually it's in this suite of marketing services. If you want to have a comprehensive package that is going to give you the most opportunities to market the property, a 3D tour is one of those legs that you're standing, your table on or whatever, right? I was going to use a tripod analogy, but I don't think that there's more legs than that. Because we got photos, we got video, we got twilights, we got a 3D tour, we got a floor plan, we got all these different elements. But and so I think our biggest success actually in selling the 3D tours post-COVID has been in that full suite of media packages where you can tell the agent, this gives you everything you need. So I think when we are selling 3D tours, they are usually as part of that bigger package, and kind of our basic media package is photo, aerial photos, video, and a 3D tour. And I think there's very few clients who are doing photos and a 3D tour.
Right.
It's usually they need to be buying a couple other services before they're going to just buy the 3D tour on top of that. So that tells me that we haven't been really effectively marketing the 3D tours on their own. And so I think that's where we can kind of pivot. And I think now that we have the 3D wars happening, we have this clear, a marketing point that we can make. That's actually a pain point for realtors that we can solve. Hey, we have this solution iGuide. It's actually the best service, and it's actually, it's the most accurate. It's the whatever however we want to pitch it. All the talking points that we did in the ad, which again, this is not a full length ad for iGuide, but I do think that is an effective strategy. And I think one of the other things that we really need to make sure that we're thinking about when we are thinking about the 3D tours that we offer is there other use cases for these that we're not utilizing? Because we do have these incredible, all of the 3D tours, it's all incredible technology. And to have it be something that we're just marketing to realtors, I think is missing opportunities for revenue streams. Yeah. And we've talked about it on the show in the past, and in the place where we've had the most success marketing, at the time Matterport, is to architects. And so especially in spaces that are going to be remodeled or in process of being built out, there's the whatever, I don't even know, the LiDAR technology, whatever, all the stuff that, all the data that you can get out of a 3D tour, architecture firms find really useful. And even just those little things where architects can go and just do the walkthrough of the 3D tour and be like, oh yes, there is an electrical outlet on that wall without having to return to the site. And for architects, that saves them so much time. And so you just tell them that one little thing and their eyes just go, oh my God, that's amazing. And then, of course, you can get in there and get those measurements of not only is that electrical socket on that wall, but where exactly is it? And that is a great utilization of these technologies. And so you get into a point of, well, how do you get those clients? How do you, get them as repeat clients? And I think, to be honest, for us, it's been a bit of a challenge. And this is before you were with us, so, a lot of this stuff. But what we have found is we've been able to convince a few firms that they should use it. But here's the thing. which I didn't really realize, most architecture firms aren't that big and they don't do that many projects. And so they may think, yeah, this is great technology, but they're only doing a couple projects a year. So it's not like a big client. The great thing about them is they're not price sensitive because it's a pass through to the client. So they'll actually, if you charge them $300, they'll probably charge their client $350 and they'll make $50 on it. But that's fine. So you're not, unlike realtors sometimes who are going to haggle you on price, architects almost never will haggle you on price. But then also some of those projects that they're doing are really huge. And we documented on this show a couple of years ago, we were hooked up with this one firm that was redesigning department stores and actually just like certain sections of department stores, but it's like 50,000 square feet, So these are like giant places that you're able to charge, by square foot. And all of a sudden it becomes like a day and you're making $2,500 or $3,000 just sending someone out with a 3D camera. But those firms are kind of few and far between. And what I've also realized is that when an architecture firm is big enough and they're doing those types of projects, or they're doing enough volume where they have, it's a large firm, you're like, oh man, they're doing so many houses. Well, what they end up doing is they just buy their own camera and do it in-house. They're not afraid to spend the money. And so all architecture firms seem to have some lackeys running around who are just like junior architects or just out of school or whatever. And it's like, hey, make Ron do it.
Exactly.
And so they're going to, once they see the power of the platform, they're going to basically take it in-house pretty damn quickly. And then you're out of a gig. So we've had pretty mixed results with the architect stuff. But we have a couple clients who will just call us and they do 3, 4, 5 a year. And I mean, I'm fine with, that's all right. But it's we've been barking up that tree sometimes, but we haven't got a lot of results from it. I do think the construction industry is another industry where we haven't been selling ourselves. And I think there is a lot of utilization for that. And there's one builder that we've worked with and, who does these giant homes and that take 3 or 4 years to build. And so we've had this one, they just keep upping the hosting of it. And it's been like 3.5 years, but we did it when it was at studs. And so they need the builders want to go back and be like, oh, where is that wiring? Where is that stuff? And so it's a real good way for that to happen. So you can theoretically, if you're hooked up with a builder, go back and rescan that property at all of these various stages of, so they can see what's in the walls, what's on the outside of the walls, the
whole progress.
Yes, exactly. So that's an opportunity to come back to that same property multiple times. And again, it's one of those things, they're passing that on to their clients. So they're not quite as price sensitive. And then I heard some chatter at PMRE and I've heard, I think Bethany was telling us, our editor, that she's been doing a lot for Airbnbs. When she's shooting Airbnbs, she's doing 3D tours on that.
Yeah.
And so
I think those are very useful from a family who loves to stay at Airbnbs.
Oh, you love to stay at Airbnbs?
My family and I, when I wasn't married, we would all stay at Airbnbs, for vacations, and those 3D tours, that's how we got to know where we're staying. And I always enjoyed.
Right. Well, I think people want to know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's great.
Yeah. And we have had almost no success doing 3D tours at Airbnbs. And I don't know, but on Airbnb, is there a link where you can look at a 3D tour? Do they embed the 3D tours in there? Do you know offhand?
I mean, I remember, I think it was it Verbo or Airbnb? Maybe I know what I felt like I was going through the slideshow and it was provided in the.
Okay. Yeah. Well, then there you go.
Who knows?
Because most people put their place on both. I think. Yeah. So I know it's been a while since I've checked it out. So maybe things have changed. Yeah. There's probably only more technology, right? So when we've talked about how we're pricing things, Airbnb, because again, we're licensing our photos, we're licensing that content, and the Airbnb license is a different license than we do for our real estate photos, because our real estate photos typically only last for like 30 days until the house is sold, or, on average. But Airbnb, they're using these photos for years and years and years and years. So you should be charging accordingly. And, we've done triple, we've done double our real estate rate. And I think that's a really good place to start when you're thinking about that. So that also is true with any of the 3D tours. And especially if it's a 3D tour that you have to continually pay to host, you want to make sure that you build in money into it where where basically they're going to re-up it on a yearly basis where they're going to pay you whatever you decide, $50, $100, whatever it's going to be to host the tour year after year after year, because they're making so much money off those, and the pitch to, with anyone with Airbnb, even when you're charging these premium rates, is like, well, do you think these photos, do you think this tour, do you think this is going to help you get a single booking more, or is it going to, help you charge a little bit of a higher rate? So, because even if you say, well, do you think you could charge $20 more per night if you have with these photos? If so, well, they're going to make up the cost difference in a month.
Exactly.
So to me, it's a pretty easy sell. It's a pretty easy sales pitch. I mean, and I know a lot of Airbnb owners are cheap SOBs, but
Yeah. Isn't Mark an Airbnb owner?
Yeah, Mark is an Airbnb owner. Yeah. Cheap bastard. I don't think he's done a 3D tour for his place. He gets to take the iGuide camera up there.
Yeah, he's got to.
Yeah, but he's done Twilights. Well, here's the thing, though. I think sometimes, and no shade on Mark or his Airbnb, but it's really small. It's like really
it's so
tiny.
Cute, though.
It's cute, but it's really
hot
small.
Tub.
But I think here's a case where you don't necessarily want the 3D tour and that's I think why you don't see 3D tours of hotel rooms that much.
Yeah,
it's because you're like, oh, this is it.
That's it.
Yeah, there's like 5 scan positions in the whole thing, and so I think sometimes you want there to be leave a little to the imagination.
Yeah.
Again, not that we want to mislead people, but I think he doesn't need to show that it's 600 square feet or however big it is. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't been up there, so I don't know.
It's nice for...
You kind of would think that they would have offered me like a free weekend or night or something.
Yeah. I mean, Mark, if you're watching.
Yeah. He's probably not. But if you are, Mark.
Yeah.
We'll take it. I'll take a free night up in Big Bear.
There you go.
I'll pay whatever. I'll pay the cleaning fee. That's fine. So that's another use case. And then we had a list of other use cases. Was there another one on there? See, Molly, this is great. She's like producing from the chair here, has her laptop out, is going to prompt me with notes. This is fantastic. So yeah, I think you said, multifamily places, apartment complexes. And I've done 3D tours for back in the day, like a big 100 unit like apartment place that had like 3 different floor plans, and they wanted a 3D tour of each floor plan. And so that was great because then they could just show, when one was coming up, they could just, oh, here's the tour. This is what the floor plan looks like. And then too, for like institutional kind of documentation, we've done it where we've done 3D tours of larger properties, what have we done? We've done like some hotels where you're not doing the rooms, but you're doing like the meeting rooms and the restaurants and, those type of things where people, prospective guests or people who are going to rent it out, you can actually, it doesn't necessarily live on the hotel's website, but they can actually send it to them and say, oh, this is what we have. And those tend to be bigger jobs. I mean, they can be, it can be hard to get those type of jobs. I mean, you have to form relationships with the GMs and, the marketing departments.
Those take time.
Yeah. But, there is, I think there is knowledge in those places of the need for those kind of things. So occasionally we will get calls about that. So that goes back to making sure that on your webpage that, search for 3D tour provider or, whatever brand name you want to use in your area and see how you're ranking on search, because you want to make sure that you have the appropriate search terms on your website and that when you come up, when someone is, Googling iGuide provider, Matterport provider, that you are going to be the one that they're going to see.
Yeah. I never thought until you just said that when I was planning a wedding last year, how much I wish I sometimes, it's nice to see a venue in person.
Yeah.
But I went on the website beforehand and if they would have had a 3D tour, I would have, pictures alone, yes, but they make it look so much different when you go tour it yourself.
Yeah.
And the venue I ended up picking, like, I think that 3D tour would have been really useful going into it. It was so beautiful.
Right.
But
but you would have noticed all the problems.
There were things I didn't know, like parts of it where I was like, oh, that's...
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is it's always a double-edged sword for those kind of places because what you can say, actually, one of the part of the pitch, and I think, one of the reasons that I think realtors have said, oh, I don't like 3D tours is because it lessens the amount of people who want to come view the property.
Yeah.
Because they think they've already seen it and they've been unimpressed. Because, the quality of the tours is better all the time, but it doesn't look like the photos.
Yeah, I mean, kids these days, prime example, during
these days.
COVID, for college, going into college, one of my best friends virtually toured her college when we went to together in Alabama, and she's like, I never saw it. I had to, I came here and
right.
And I mean, she's like, I trusted the virtual tour.
Yeah, right.
And
because the photos you can't quite trust in the same way because we all know that angle is.
I don't think I could take that risk, but
right.
That's
you're not a risk taker.
Thanks, Reed.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's just an observation. It wasn't a judgment.
Did you say measurements earlier?
Measurements?
Yes.
Measurements. I meant to say measurements.
I know. I almost cut you off. I was like, well, you say measurements.
Oh, okay. Was that, well, when there are those things that are not, like we're just saying with Mark's Airbnb is like, well, you don't necessarily want to advertise that it's that small.
Yeah.
Or, prominently
Sorry,
advertise
Mark.
it. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I don't think the prospective Airbnb clients are watching this. So the pushback from realtors is like, oh, people for better or for worse, they feel like they've seen the property already. And then they don't want to come view it, and which means that's a potential client that I just lost, a potential buyer, or even if they're not going to buy this property, I can tell them about the other property. So because the realtors want to have as many interactions as possible. Typically, sometimes they get overwhelmed with stuff.
Yeah.
But especially right now in this market, they want to be cultivating as many of those relationships as possible.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, any more use cases that come to the top of your head?
I mean, we kind of touched on all of them.
Oh, man,
you did. You were mowing through them.
Oh, I was to be fair, like it's nice that you have the computer, but yeah, you haven't done a lot of real estate media stuff. So you've social media stuff for us. But, I wouldn't say, to be fair, you're not a 3D tour expert.
Not yet.
No, not yet, but you will be after this show. So I think let's just call it. I think it's time for our action items.
All right.
Our action items today are sponsored by Pixel CRM, the only CRM that is made by a real estate photographer for real estate photographers and media professionals. It's an amazing tool, fully fleshed out. You can do so many things with Pixel CRM. I urge you to check it out. It's Pixel CRM. That's PIXLCRM.com. And if you add right after that.com, if you add a little /Upmarket, you're going to be able to get a free month of service to check it out. So check out pixelcrm.com/upmarket. All right. So I'm going to go first because I know Molly has cooked up like a social media special. Like she's going to be a lot more in the social media sidebar because that's her specialty. Mm-hmm. So hers is going to be a social media special. So mine, as often, kind of goes with the theme of this episode. And I just want to make sure that we all take 10 minutes to hone our 3D marketing pitch as the landscape has been changing. And, one, if you are not offering a 3D product, you really should be doing that, even though the use has been declining. I mean, I still think baseline, we make a decent amount of money from 3D tours, even if it's not what it was in the past. So I really encourage everyone to be offering, you want to be that one-stop shop. You want to be offering a 3D tour solution. But I want to make sure that whatever one you are offering, that we have our pitches ready, that we have our talking points. And I think listening to this episode, hopefully, can be helpful for that. But I want to make sure that, Chelsea knows for us when she's answering the phone and she's having to answer questions, because the realtors are having a lot of questions about these things. So we just need to make sure that we have our answers at the ready. So that's my action item.
Love it.
Oh, well, thanks, Molly.
I'm learning something new every day.
Good.
This is my first action item.
Oh, all right.
I guess.
Oh
gosh.
You produced the action item spectacular this year. So
I know.
there
were so many good ones in there. A lot of I mean, people didn't sometimes know what they were saying beforehand, but
we're not thinking of anyone in particular.
No, not at all. Well, for me, I guess stepping into this, I've been here since July, August.
I don't know. Yeah, July, August.
I've been learning more and more about real estate media, but I do think, social media, it's such a useful component, with things like this, with 3D tours, and kind of as we were talking about earlier, always making sure that personal connection as much as you can come through in any of the reels you do, your posts, on any platform. And I'm discovering, with realtors where they're at kind of like you say, during the day, the analytics behind everything. So for me, with this approach with 3D tours, I think you could bring a creative side to it. We have Nikki on our team. I don't know if this is necessarily an action item, but something.
Okay, well, all right. Well, it's your first action item. If it's only passable, it's fine. Well,
I think I am looking forward to, and I hope to do more of, is 3D tour. Behind the scenes is one thing. Right. I love doing those. But bringing in more fun, creative ideas.
Okay.
In terms of something that may not be as glamorous.
Right.
So
the action item is, let's pimp out 3D tours on, pimp out 3D tours on your social media, but do it in a fun and creative way.
Yeah. And it's always good, like with the social media, I don't know I would always try to break up your content. I guess that's just a tip.
There's an action item right there.
Yeah. For us, I know during sometimes slow seasons, it's a little harder, but making sure your content isn't just super like the same, consistently the same, but even you got to be posting consistently to get views. So,
and like we've said a million times, don't just post pictures of houses.
No,
that is boring.
So boring. It can be beautiful in some ways when you put it in the right place.
And that's why I say don't just post pictures of houses. You need to post pictures of houses. This is what you do, and I think it's important. And your clients want to see it. They want to see the photos that they commissioned you for up there, and cross posted and everything. But do some other stuff.
The short form fun videos that take, like I said, like 5 minutes to make. Sometimes do the best.
Yeah.
Get you the most exposure.
Often do the best.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Molly. Thanks for producing. Thanks for pinch hitting there. That was really kind of you. Oh. Even though I told you had to do it, but you still did it and you didn't complain. So I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
And thank you to Mark for abandoning us. And thank you, of course, Bethany for editing, and everyone who's working on this. And our sponsors, of course, thank you so much. We wouldn't be doing this without you. We probably still would, but we would just be, it would look shitty. But also, of course, thank you to all our listeners, all our viewers. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you all. Upmarket is a production of Upmarket Studios and is produced by Molly Peart and edited by Bethany Dietrich. Our wish for you this week is to not have to do any Friday Night Twilight shoots. Thank you for everything.